If you've seen my other videos, you know that we've learned about dopamine and how it really contributes to buying makeup. I want to talk a little bit about some dopamine hit replacements, so it's not always just the purchasing of makeup to get that dopamine. We want to figure out other ways to get it too. And this isn't really about hobbies or other things that you can do. It's still around shopping and still around the purchasing of makeup, but we're not spending money. So let's get into it. Also, I'm not going to do my makeup this time either. It's actually evening right now as I'm filming this, and my makeup's kind of halfway done. I showered earlier, so we're just gonna go with this. And family went to the park, so I want to hurry and film this real quick. Dopamine is the anticipation plus the reward, right? And we've kind of talked about that when you anticipate something coming, you get it, you feel that dopamine hit, and then it fades pretty quickly after that. So you really get more of a dopamine hit when you're browsing for makeup, when you add it to cart, and when you're waiting for the package to come. Actually owning the product, there's no dopamine. I mean, maybe there is a little bit when you open it to use it for the first couple times, but really it fades really quickly after that, and you're just in that cycle again. And that cycle includes the excitement peak and then wanting something new every single time. It's so frustrating because I know we have so much makeup and we have so much to use, but it just keeps going. And so it's just that cycle of we're getting excited and then that crash and then we're neutral again, and we're looking for that excitement all the time. So it's not the makeup that you love necessarily, it's that feeling of getting something new. And that's what we're trying to chase. And that's the finish line I talk about a lot, that's always constantly moving. So instead of trying to just stop buying makeup, we want to think about ways to just get that dopamine hit the same sort of way, but instead of spending money, we're just stopping before we actually spend the money, we're stopping before that. So we can still shop without spending money, right? You can still browse, you can still look through all the new releases. I love to look at like what's on sale. You can still do all these things, but you don't have to actually buy them. So adding them to cart, the browsing, making a wish list of things that you want in the future is a great one as well. And then definitely follow that 48-hour rule where you're putting it in your cart, but you're not actually buying it. You're just letting it sit there. All of these things can still bring that hype and kind of that create that spike of dopamine, but you're not having to buy it. Because as we know, even just right after you buy it, that dopamine just goes down again. Do those things. Shop for it, add it to cart, browse, make a wish list, but just don't purchase. You'll still get the thrill, but without the regret. Thinking about novelty now is another way we can get that dopamine hit. Remember that your brain always just wants something new. And so try new things with the makeup you have. Try to use it in different ways. I love to do that, where I use like eyeshadow as liner. I've even used eyeshadow as like bronzer. I mean, switch it up, you know, you can use whatever. This lip product I have would be really pretty on my cheeks, and I love this color. So just kind of switch things up and see if you can use your products you have in different ways. That can be fun. Also, following a tutorial can be really fun because you already have the stuff for it, you know, and so just follow different ways to do makeup, try different looks, do less makeup, do much more heavy glam look, and just see which ones you like. And that can be a fun kind of novelty dopamine spike. And then rotate your products weekly. I like to do this too. We're like, this is the weekly favorites. And so for one week you use these certain products, and then the next week you use these certain ones. Definitely do that with like seasons too. So we're getting into spring and summer. Get out your spring and summer collection and put away fall and winter, and sort of just reuse things like that throughout the seasons. That can kind of create the sense of like new products, but you're not buying new stuff. You're using what you have still, but you're able to kind of curate it a little bit more according to the season, the look, the temperature, stuff like that. So that's really fun to do too. So that novelty you want to create in your brain, just that newness without actually needing new stuff. Also, we can get dopamine by thinking about progress. This is kind of progress-based dopamine. So looking at like how you can use up a product, like the Project Pan stuff, you can do that. Try to use up as much as you can of a product. Do a challenge where you use a certain product like 10 times in a row and see I mean, you can really get to know if you really like that product by then. So try to use something 10 times in a row. Use stuff up as much as you can. Also doing like a before and after comparison of your skills from maybe high school or junior high until now, and just see. I love to look at that, like the timeline of like how I used to do my makeup and how I do it now. I used to get really heavy liner like under my eyes. I remember on purpose, I would do it so dark and deep, and I would get a Q-tip and I would stick it in my mouth and get it all wet, and I would line perfectly right under, and I would have this dark liner. And I did that, I think that was junior high, maybe high school. And I had this liner and it was just like like how I did my eyes every day and they were so dark. It's so funny how interesting and like how different I am now and how it looks now. So kind of comparing your progress from start of doing makeup till now. And that progress can kind of create some dopamine as well and kind of some newness. Your brain really does love progress as much as it loves purchases. This is a key thing to remember. When I talk about this in therapy, we don't compare ourselves to other people. We want to compare ourselves to ourselves, right? Even like think of a year ago or 2 years ago. Where were you? Were you weaker? Was your thought process different? Financially, where were you? You know, and then think about today and think about the progress you've made. Always compare yourself to yourself, not yourself to others. And then if you just need some quick dopamine hits, you really feel that urge to shop and scroll on your phone for new makeup and new products, get yourself away from the environment. So go on a walk. The walking actually creates something called bilateral stimulation where your feet are going, this is deep into EMDR stuff, but it's a healing thing where you're walking and your feet are going back and forth. That can help your brain right and left connect and you are able to think a little more clearly. Go for a walk, get outside, text a friend, go hang out with somebody, clean or organize a small space, change your outfit, change your clothes, something like that that just creates some sort of distance from sort of that monotony in that space where you felt really triggered. Just get yourself out of that environment and make like a quick shift and a quick change. That can be helpful and that can create somewhat of a dopamine hit as well. And then remember the feeling. What are you feeling right now? Are you stressed? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you sad? Are you grieving? And is makeup something that you feel like is going to make you feel better in the long run? Or is it just kind of a quick fix, you know? Think about how is your mood and what emotions are you feeling right now? This also can go along with, are you comparing yourself? Have you been looking on your phone and watching other people and you feel less than? You feel some body image problems. And so that comparison can be really hard. And so finding something to buy may feel like it may fix it all, but it doesn't, right? It doesn't fix it. And think about, do I want makeup or do I want a feeling? Do I want a feeling change? Think about how convinced you feel sometimes that getting a new product will change everything, right? If I just get this one thing, like I've talked about before, this one blush, this one lip product, if I just get this one thing, I will feel so much better and life will be complete. And then you get it in the mail and it's great for a few hours or a few days, and then you feel the exact same. I've done that. We've all done that. So just remember that this is something that we do experience, and it's totally a cycle and a pattern. And if you're aware and you're grounded and you're mindful of it, you don't have to be in it. You don't have to be kind of a victim to it. You can change this pattern. Remember to reframe your thoughts. These thoughts are so powerful, and they've created a path in your brain where they're thinking, if I make this purchase, I buy this makeup, everything's gonna be great again, and my stress is gonna be lower, and I'm gonna feel prettier, and my life is gonna be so much better. And that's just not true, right? So we need to reframe those thoughts and really create an important mind shift, right? You're not missing out. It's all basically the same stuff. You're just choosing a different reward system, which is very good, very normal. Remember, the goal isn't to just never buy makeup. And I don't want people on here to think that as well. Like I said, some videos I'll be applying makeup, some I won't. I think it's just kind of dependent on the day and when I'm filming. But we're not here to like not wear makeup. We're here to use what we have. And that's the important thing. And that's the goal. Use what we have. We don't need to get in the cycle of the dopamine hit of buying new stuff we don't need. So the goal isn't to just stop buying makeup. We just don't want to be using it as an emotion regulator. We want to be able to regulate our emotions our own way and the ways that we choose, and healthier ways where we're not just spending money needlessly and we're just getting a bigger collection that really in the end overwhelms us and really causes us a lot of stress. And of course, think about other hobbies. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not gonna just go over like random hobbies, but really think about what helps you when you're stressed. What coping skills help you? I talk a lot about coping skills with clients. I know that everybody kind of has their own coping skill. One coping skill doesn't work for everybody. So you kind of have to get a list of them and figure out what ones work for you and which really feel like they fit you best. And just to do that, you have to try a lot of them. And some of them might not work. Cooking may be a really good coping skill for some of us. Some people, it may totally stress you out and you hate it, and that's not something that's gonna help you at all. Think about, what are your coping skills? What helps you de-stress? Animal Crossing, I just gotta throw that in there. That's a huge one for me. I have a pretty cool island by this point. So things like that, I try to do that. I even put games on my phone because I wanna play games rather than shop. I've even considered like deleting my Ulta app, or definitely my Sephora app. I don't shop at Sephora very much. My Kohl's app, like I don't need them, you know, and they're just kind of a trigger and like a temptation for me. So if I just delete them, you know, way more difficult to like go on the website and try to find stuff. It takes a lot more effort, but put games on your phone and try to do those instead of shop. Our brains just want that dopamine hit, and little games on our phone can definitely create that just as much as like making a makeup purchase, maybe even more, seeing that progression in a game, stuff like that. So really pay attention to where you find those dopamine hits and what works for you, and try them more and bring more of those in your life. That's not a bad thing. It's better than shopping and scrolling on an Ulta app or somewhere and purchasing stuff you just don't need. And like I said, just stresses you out more. And remember, once we realize that we can create dopamine in other areas, the makeup starts to not have so much control over you. And like I said too, I don't mean to just be, I don't know, I'm not trying to be mean about this, but unsubscribe from people on YouTube that tempt you. Some creators, all they have is just new makeup, and that's all they show. Every single video, newness, new stuff. And it is exciting, and maybe that is kind of a helpful thing to watch that, so you don't go out and buy it, you can just see them have it. But if it's triggering you and it's making you want to buy it too, you don't have to watch them. You can unsubscribe from those kinds of people that are just constantly triggering and like putting that newness in your life and in front of your face. And it's just not a healthy coping skill, right? It's not a good dopamine hit. Our goal is to not let makeup have control over us. We choose what we buy, when we buy it, and why we buy it. And it's not something that we just have to kind of fall victim to because we're stressed or overwhelmed or sad. We can find dopamine in many other ways. So consider what's helpful to you. Spend time with your family, get out, go do something, change the environment. And I hope that you guys have a great day. I'm so grateful for you watching this video. I've gotten some more success on my channel, and I'm so grateful for everybody that watches and likes and subscribes. I can't tell you enough. I know everybody says this, but I really am so grateful, and thank you so much. Let me know what kind of videos may be helpful that you might enjoy kind of in this sort of realm. I don't want to talk about a ton of new stuff and show a bunch of new makeup all the time. I want to be a little different and help others with this while including some therapy tips too. So anything that you want to hear about or learn about, let me know, and have a great day, and I'll see you soon in my next one.